Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalam ala sharafil anbiya wal mursaleen wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Allahumma infa'ni bima allamtani wa allimni ma yanfa'uni wa zidni ilman. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Rabbi ishrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Able to hear me still? Okay. Okay, so just to quickly review what we did yesterday, day one. Apart from the glitches and fixing the technical issues, we studied active and the passive voice in the Arabic language, and we said that this is one of the components that is required to understand the SARF, which we are going to jump in today, inshallah. So active passive voice, as I said, there is a little difference between the definition that is used in the English language and in the Arabic language. In English language, you can say this was given by him or something like that. That is also considered passive. But the definition in Arabic, as far as the grammar is concerned, we treat that word as passive where the action has happened but the doer is unknown. The book was given. The food was eaten. I was helped. I am being served. These are all passive. Why? Because they all indicate some action happening, but the doer is completely unknown. That is what is called as passive. So we studied the passive in the background of past tense as well as the present tense. As far as the past tense goes, you have to remember that the past tense passive generates two important sounds, that is oo and e. So the beginning should be oo, and just before it ends, the sound should be e. Nusira, kutila, ustugfira, ustume'na. All this oo, e sound, this is the key for understanding the past passive. And for the present passive, it is oo sound, oo. Yuktabu, yunsaru, oo sound. That is important for the present passive. In English, when we turn the past tense into passive, the key word used is was. In the present tense in English, we use is being when we use the passive. Okay. One last thing about the passive in Arabic is, if the word is a bit longer and there are additional letters left once we do all the steps, then in the past tense case, we keep on adding dhammas as long as all the letters are covered. And in the present tense, we keep on adding fathas on all the letters if there are anything remaining. That's all it had for the active and the passive voice, which is going to be one of the member of the SARF. So as we jump into the SARF, we realize that, as I gave the small intro yesterday, that SARF is basically studied by dividing all the words into babs or families or forms or patterns. These are different names given. So whatever you are comfortable with, that's what we are going to study the concept with. Basically, it is all about pattern. A particular pattern, if it fits, then that word belongs to that family. The root letters might be different. So since the root letters are different, the meaning will be different. But the connotation of the meaning will remain same because it is following a certain pattern. So SARF is not about memorization, it is about understanding the pattern of the word. Like for example, this happens in English language also. You might not know the meaning, but if you hear it, you can at least tell that this is some type of doer. Like for example, the one who drives is called as driver. The one who speaks is called as speaker. The one who writes is called as writer. So this ER sound, if not always, it's not true always in English, but most of the time if you hear at the end ER, then that is the doer of that action, right? Driver, writer, speaker, killer, ER. So this pattern in English, if someone is learning English and he suddenly comes across a word which he doesn't know the meaning, but the end is ER, most probably it's a doer. As I said, it's not always true in English, but in Arabic, it's most of the time this is true. If you have that pattern, you have this doer, or you have this command, or you have this one on the action is done. This is what is SARF is all about. If you are able to recognize the pattern, and it is very consistent in Arabic, unlike other languages. Like English, I said ER is doer, but if I say finger, finger is not a ER, not the one who thinks, right? So in some cases it will fail. But in Arabic, most of the time this will apply, and this is what is called as SARF. You're studying different families and their patterns. So next time when you come across not the word that we studied, but the pattern that we studied, you will be like, ah, that sounds like that family, which means, and that family has this kind of features, which means this word is telling me that this is the connotation I should derive. Now, what's the meaning? So you'll have to look at the root. What is the meaning? And once you look at the meaning, you get the connotation. So I hope you get the point that I'm trying to say. So before I jump into it, any question anybody has, you're free to ask quickly before I start the slide and share it. Okay, where is the slide? Where do we? Okay, I forgot. Okay, here is the sharing. So, unless looks like nobody has reviewed the notes or everybody is having a high IQ in Ramadan, so no questions. Anyway, not a problem. Yeah, quickly. Yeah, go ahead. Okay. नहीं, यतज़क्करूना का पैसिव होगा युतज़क्करूना. पैसिव वर्ड हमेशा उस, हाँ, तो प्रेजेंट टेंस नॉर्मल यतज़क्करूना है. वो कहाँ सेम है? एक चीज याद रखो, चाहे आप पास्ट टेंस का पैसिव बनाओ या प्रेजेंट टेंस का पैसिव बनाओ, ये ऊ से चालू होगा. अगर ऊ से चालू नहीं हो रहा है तो ये पैसिव है नहीं. तज़क्करा यतज़क्करू, यतज़क्करू है वो तो नॉर्मल एक्टिव है, उसका पैसिव युतज़क्करू. सेम कहां हुआ? अलग है ना? या देयर इज नो ज़बर. यतज़क्करू, युतज़क्करू, that's it. No, why? The normal tense is तज़क्करा यतज़क्करू. ऊ है ऊ. ये प्रेजेंट टेंस के अंदर ऊ आता है. नसरा यंसुरू, कतला यक्तुलू, कतबा यक्तुबू, ऊ आता है ऊ. आज वो बोल रहे हैं वो पास्ट टेंस का है मैम. नसरा, इतज़क्करा, इस्तगफरा, तज़क्करा, ये पास्ट टेंस की साइंस हैं. प्रेजेंट टेंस में ऊ आता है एंड में, नॉर्मल फॉर्म में ऊ आता है तो ऊ ही रहेगा. ओके, प्रेजेंट टेंस में ऊ आता है एंड में. नसरा यंसुरू, अब इसका पैसिव करूंगा तो नसरा का बनेगा नुसिरा और यंसुरू का बनेगा युनसरू. ऊ ही रह रहा है वो, राइट? Yeah, so that is present tense. Maybe you are getting mixed up with the past and the present. Inshallah, once you go through this next 4 or 5 days, things will become clear. If not, inshallah, we can discuss it further. Okay? So, let's get started. I hope everybody is able to see the shared slides. Day number 2. Okay? So, SARF. So what does this basically, let's start with the basic thing. What does SARF mean? Of course, this is not the Nirma surf for washing the clothes. This is SARF. Basically, the core meaning inside this is alteration or change. That's why some of the literature, they especially written for the English audience, they say this is morphology. Morphology is a study of that thing which changes, which morphs from one thing to other. Like you see on this WhatsApp, sometimes they send a group of photos. One photo is morphing into other. So there was this XYZ guy, now it became ABC. automatically from that photo itself. That's called as morphing. So SARF is all about change, about morphing. You see this word and then you put it in different pattern, it takes a new form. It takes a completely new form and the connotation has changed. That's what is SARF. Basically, you could say that the SARF is a science of word patterns representing different meanings. Representing different meaning. It is just like a machine. So if somebody learns how to operate a Xerox machine, photocopy machine, then they don't need to worry about what paper the customer is going to give him. Doesn't need to worry. Doesn't matter what paper you give me, I know how to make copy. You just tell me how many copies you want. I can make the copies. That's what SARF is about. SARF is like a machine. If you understand how to operate it, then start putting words inside it and you can make thousands of words from 3 root letters. Take the 3 root letter, put it into different patterns and you have thousands and thousands of words coming across. I have a nice video made out for this concept on YouTube. It is there on our channel. Please subscribe the channel and there is a link here I have given in the slide. Once you get the notes, you can type this link and go to that video and watch that video, which is related to SARF. But it is giving you a practical example. Lots of examples in there. So you could go and watch it, inshallah, once you get the notes. And there are other videos also of grammar on our website. So do subscribe to the channel and make full use of it. Most of the videos are related to grammars and the beauty of the Arabic language. Anyway, so this is like a machine. That's what we are learning in this 7 days, that how to operate this machine, so that I can put different roots inside it and I can get different words and I can know the meanings and connotations those words create. All the Arabic words are categorized as families. As I told you, families is nothing but a set of pattern. Family number 1, oh, this has this pattern. Or family number 2, this has this pattern. Yeah, what does this pattern represent? Well, this pattern means the action is emphasized. This pattern means the action is repeated. Okay. This pattern means the action is happening between people, not one person. So every family has got a different connotation. We are trying to understand what does each pattern mean and how do I recognize it and how do I use it. That's what this course is all about. Okay. So as I said yesterday, we are going to study all in all 14 families. Out of that, 8 are big families, 6 are small families, and I will get to that, what is the difference between big and small families. But these 14 families together, inshallah, can cover most of the 95% of the verbs present in the Quran. That is why we have these 14 families. Now, what is a big family and what is a small family? These terms are very specific to our syllabus. As you all know, most of you, our syllabus is created based on Bayyana syllabus, right? So I'm a student of Bayyana. So of course the content and the look and all is this is different, but the core content is based on. So they use this term families or 8 big families, 6. You won't find these terms anywhere else. They use cryptic grammar terminologies, which I think the student gets caught up inside it if you start using those terminologies, especially for the basic student. We don't want to use those terminologies. Yeah, we do want to use it, but at a certain stage, not now. Now the student is just getting ramped up. They are just bombarded with all these things. So we are using English terms, okay? So these 8 big families, this big family means this word is indicating to my eyes more than 3 letters. When I look at this word or count the letters, I see there are more than 3. But you, sir, you said most of the words are made from 3 root letters. Yes, even though you see more than 3 letters, the root letters inside is only 3 only. There are only 3. The additional letters are part of the pattern. That is what we need to study. So one of the skills that we are trying to acquire through this course is how to recognize what are the roots inside this word and what is the part of the pattern. You see, if there are 3, you can say items or 3 things. One is the glass, other is the bottle, other is the jar, right? Glass, bottle, jar. These are 3 different things, 3 different items. But if I put water inside it, the water remains water, but the shape of the water is different. Right? The shape of the water is different, but it's water. That's what this SARF is all about. The water is the root letter. the jar, the bottle, the glass, these are patterns. So you should recognize what pattern I am looking at. Yes, all of them are water, but this is glass, this is jar, this is bottle. Now if I keep the glass, bottle and jar same, replace the water with the juice. Now everything is a juice, but this is the jar of juice, this is the bottle of juice, this is the glass of the juice. So this is what is SARF all about. The juice or the water are the root letters. You keep changing it. And the jar and the bottle and the glass, these are shapes. So if you are able to recognize the shapes of the word, you can see, oh, jar means this will have more quantity. Glass means it will have less quantity. Jar means it is closed. It will not fall, it will not spill over even if it falls out. Glass will spill over. See, these are the properties of that units. That's what every family, every Bab has got a property. You need to realize in the word what is root, means what is water, and what is pattern, which means what is the container. If you are able to do that, Alhamdulillah, you will be very good in SARF, inshallah. Okay, so this is more than 3-letter word, but the roots are 3 only. In small families, it has only 3 letters, no additional stuff. The pattern, the pattern still exists. The pattern is still there, but the pattern is made using the 3 root letters itself. In the big families, the pattern is consist of more than 3 letters. That's the difference. Okay, the big families, even though they are big, they are completely predictable. Completely predictable. What do you mean? Means every family, as we study, you will see that we are going to add members to the family. Just like our human family, we have a dad, we have a mom, we have a grandma, we have children, we have daughter, all these people in the family. In these families also, they have all these entities, and we are going to keep adding one after the other. But in the big family, the good thing is that even if you know one of the member, let's say you know grandma, how she looks like. Okay, if you just look at the grandma, the beauty of the big family is you can create father, dad, children, daughter, sister, every one of the family by just looking at the grandma, or by just looking at the father, you can create the whole family. That is what is big family. In small families also you can do that, but not so easily, even though it's a small family. You can create the members, but it is little bit challenging. But in big families, absolutely, you cannot make a mistake. If I give you one member of the family, hey, this is the daughter of this family. Okay, you use the daughter, you can create the brother, you can create father, you can create mother. You can create all the members of the family. That's how beautiful this SARF is. This is what the technique of SARF is. Okay, these are completely predictable. Knowing one member sufficient to generate its family. That's why I said, you just need to know one member. Tell me one member, I can create the remaining. So this is not mugging up. This SARF is like mathematics. If you know the formula, you don't worry about the variables, whether I am giving the number 3, 7, 9. I don't need that. Just give me formula. A plus B square. A square plus B square plus 2AB. Yeah. So it doesn't matter what values you give. That's what this SARF is all about. Just give me the root letters and what pattern you want. I can create all the members. Okay. This one is little bit challenging to create family from single member, but it's relatively challenging, but still easy. So family 2 and onwards, and this is family 1. What is this the chakkar? Family 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Actually, the Arabic SARF, when the scholars created the grammar and the SARF for people like you and me who were non-Arabs, they named the family. We also have a name. This is Sheikh family, this is Khan family, this is Pathan family, this is whatever it is. All these families' names are there to recognize them. Same thing. These families also have a name. But those non-Arab people, non-Arab scholars, the Oriental scholars, the Western scholars, when they were studying, they had a very difficult time remembering those names. It were very cryptic. So they came up with this number system. They said this is family number 1, family number 2, family number 3, and so on. So they went on naming numbering the names, and they went on like 13, 14, 15 families, something like that. So all the small families are classified in family number 1. When I say, hey, this is family number 1, which means it is a small family. And from family 2 onwards till whatever family we study, in our case, we are going to study family number 10. So 2 to 10, this is big family. This is big family. When I say this is family 2, hey, this is family number 7, automatically understood. This is big family, which means it's going to have more than 3 letters, not root letters. Difference between letters and root letters. Okay, so far so good. Any questions before I go to the next slide? Okay, good. Are you able to hear me? Are you all with me still? Okay, fine. So we are going to start with big families. Okay, obviously. Why? Because I told you, big families are very straightforward. They are very obedient. Obedient in the sense they follow the pattern literally. They don't deviate most of the time. 99.99% they will follow the pattern. Small families are like this, that one of the for kid, like somebody, if someone has 3 or 4 children, then one of the children is really a bit nervy or naughty. So the small family is like that. They will follow the pattern, but at times they will suddenly give you a surprise. So we don't want to start with that. First, we want you to understand the concept and get settled with this concept. And once you are comfortable with these big families, then small families can be completed in one session. They are very quickly completed. But big families, they take little bit of understanding, because these are like almost 8 or 9 families that we are studying from 2 to 10. Okay. So we'll start with family number 2. Now, as I told you yesterday, the root letters, most of the Arabic words are made from 3 root letters, right? And the generic form, what was the generic form I gave you yesterday that we use the generic letters for this? Representing the roots. Exactly. Fa, ain, lam. Fa, ain, lam. Remember this always. You will come across this in all the grammar syllabus. So you need to know it. These are the you can treat them like placeholders. They are placeholders for the root letters. So fa can be replaced with the letter, ain can be replaced, another letter, lam can be replaced. So this is the first root, or some syllabus call this as first radical, which means first root letter. Okay, first root or first radical. Ain is the second root or second radical. Lam is the third root or third radical. Okay. Now, you need to understand the pattern of family number 2. When you say family number 2, what pattern does it follow? What is the form of this family, so that I can recognize it? Now, family number 2, we are going to start with the past tense. This has a pattern of having fatha on all the root letters with the additional shadda on the middle one. Hence, what we get is the pattern. So, जो भी words family number 2 में होंगे, all the words which are going to be the member of family number 2, this is the pattern they will have. This is how you will recognize them. How? Well, it says that the first root letter, now pay attention, I am saying root. So please pay attention to what terms I am using, okay? The first root letter in family number 2 is going to have a fatha on it. The last root letter, which is lam, the letter that comes in place of lam, is going to have fatha on it. The middle root letter, ain, whatever it is, it's going to have fatha, but not just fatha, fatha along with the shadda, which you call it as tajdeed. So first root letter fatha, last fatha, middle also fatha with the shadda. What do you get with the fa, ain, lam? Quickly. Fa'ala. Fa'ala. That's the pattern of family number 2. So every time you come across an Arabic word which represents this pattern, that's it. You have recognized the pattern. The pattern is number 2. Family number 2. Okay. So what is the specific of family number 2? Oh, it has these features. Okay. So this word is telling me this. I don't know the exact meaning. That's okay. That you can check in the dictionary. But it is telling me that this happened multiple times. This is emphatic. This is happening between 2 people. This is happening between a group of people. How do you know it? Well, the pattern is telling me. So if I take this fa'ala pattern and try to use it in as one of the member. So we will replace the fa, ain, lam with ain, lam, mim. Fa, ain, lam replace with ain, lam, mim. Like this. Okay. What do you get? Allama. See, you people already started speaking SARF. allama. Now, if you see any word on this pattern, not the root letters, on the pattern, you got family number 2. If I say kattala, does it sound like allama? Yes. When I say sound like, I am asking pattern, not the words. Kattala, okay. Ajjala, yeah, that's allama. Kattaba, yeah, that's allama. So this is what you need to get to tune into. The moment you hear something like this is allama family. So the Western people didn't like saying allama family, so they said this is family number 2. Okay, so whatever is comfortable for you, you say either allama family or you say family number 2 or you say fa'ala family. That is the more generic way you will find on the different websites and syllabus. They will say this is fa'ala pattern. This is fa'ala, bab, fa'ala. Sounds like a very highly studied Arabic fellow. Bab, fa'ala. Instead of saying family number 2, right? That sounds more like a non-Arab person. Anyway, so it's good to begin with family number 2, allama. Okay. So the moment you get allama, now I'm going to show what is a past tense like, what is a present tense, and a new member called as masdar, which I will shortly explain. What is a masdar? So allama, you see it is ending with fatha. The thing that I was explaining just in the beginning of the session to, I think, Nishat ma'am, and somebody had this present tense passive. Allama, ending in fatha. That is the past tense. That is the first word of the past tense table, allama. So allama will be the first member of the family, allama, or family number 2, allama. This is past tense. Okay, this is past tense. Okay, so if I get a word on the allama pattern, can I figure out its present tense? Very much, 100%. Nobody needs to tell you. You can figure out on your own. How? Well, the present tense pattern will always be like this. Yu'allimu. Yu'allimu. So every fa'ala word will have its present tense on the pattern yufa'ilu. Yufa'ilu. Now you see that if you realize the roots are ain lam mim and you got an additional u in the beginning. What is that u doing? Well, that's a sign of a present tense. We all know that. If you have completed the fundamental course, you know all the present tense start with yatani. Yata, hamza, noon. Yata, hamza, noon. So this is ya. And it is beginning with u. Now the beginning can change of the present tense. It can be u or it can be a. This one has u. Okay. But the ending will always be u for the present tense. The last letter of the first word of the table will always be u. Yansuru, yaktubu, yaktulu, yuallimu, yuslimu. It will always be u. Okay. Now, allama is a past tense. Yuallimu is the present tense. Now you need to memorize this. Now you don't need to ask where this the yuallimu came from. Well, that nice sir. No. Okay. So it is not yuallamu. What happens is in the Indo-Pak area, unfortunately, this is still continues. The mushafs that we read, the qaida, Nurani qaida that we read, they don't follow the exact Arabic rules. So when there is the tasdeed or not, they always write the fatha or the kasra below the letter. That's what we are used to. But the proper way to write is, or it depends on the font also, that when there is the tajdeed on the word shadda, is it fatha or kasra? It is recognized by seeing whether the line is above the tajdeed or below the tajdeed. If it is fatha, it will be above the tajdeed, shadda. If it is kasra, it will be below the tajdeed. You don't need to write in below the letter. So that is also correct, but this is more aligned with the proper Arabic language. So it is not yuallamu, it is yuallimu. The kasra is below the shadda. If the shadda is not there, then you can write below the letter. That is fine. Okay. So it is yuallimu. So allama yuallimu is the present tense. Okay. Now these patterns are fixed. So बाकी 1000 वर्ड सीखने के लिए एक पैटर्न okay, so allama yuallimu. So you need to memorize this allama yuallimu, one family at least. Okay, at least one family you'll have to memorize allama yuallimu. And then there is a third member called as ta'liman. The third member is called as ta'liman. Now what is this ta'liman? In Arabic grammar or SARF language, we call it as masdar. We call it as masdar. Are you able to hear me, everyone? Okay. So जैसे कि हमको अगर मैथ्स का प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करना है तो एटलीस्ट एक फॉर्मूला तो याद करना पड़ेगा, राइट? चाहे वो a+b² हो या a² + 2ab, वट एवर इट इज, एक फॉर्मूला याद तो करना पड़े. सो दिस इज वॉट वी नीड टू मेमोराइज. अल्लमा युअल्लिमु तालीमन, सो दैट once you memorize one family, you can use it to create or to understand thousands and thousands of other words. So the past tense of this family number 2 will be on the pattern of allama, the present tense will be yuallimu, and the masdar will be ta'liman. This is the pattern. Now if you try to analyze this pattern, how is this ta'liman made? Look at the root letter. The first root letter gets a sukoon, which is ain. The second root letter gets a kasra, which is lam. And the third root letter is the last root letter, which of course can be man, mun, min, but here you are using man. So this is the pattern that the masdar will always start with ta. Ta is not part of the root, as you can see. The root is ain, lam, mim, which means any different root letters I take, if I am doing it family number 2, its masdar will start with ta. And the first root letter will get a sukoon, and the second root letter will be a kasra, followed by a ya, which is again part of pattern, and then last root letter with the tanween. Ta'liman, that is a masdar. Now what is the masdar? I am going to explain. Just hold on for a while. But before I explain that, let me explain the pattern. Allama yuallimu ta'liman. For example, if I change the roots, I get, let's say, kaf lam mim, okay? Instead of ain lam mim, I take kaf lam mim, okay? And I say, hey, I want the past tense, present tense and masdar for the root letters kaf lam mim. Can you get it? Yes, because I have understood, I have studied allama yuallimu. And you want for kaf lam mim, it will be kallama, past tense. Yukallimu, present tense. And what will be the masdar, sir? Ta'liman. So takliman, takliman, yes. Kallama, yukallimu, takliman. See that? Instant result. You studied only one family. Now how many families can you create with the past present masdar? Infinite. Different combinations of root letters, different family. By the way, takliman is a word of Qur'an. Kallamallahu Musa takliman. Allah spoke to Musa face to face, directly, one on one, no intermediately. Takliman. That. So how will you understand the meaning of takliman? Only when you understand allama yuallimu ta'liman. You understand that? So this is the power of SARF. You study one family, you are not actually studying one family. You are studying thousands and thousands of families. Now coming to the masdar. What is? You understand past? Yes. मेरे स्क्रीन पर तो है दोनों. मेरे स्क्रीन पर है मैम. आप लॉग आउट करके लॉग इन करिए. लॉग आउट करके लॉग इन कीजिए. मैडम वही बोल रहा हूं मैं, आपका स्क्रीन रिफ्रेश नहीं हुआ है, नेटवर्क में अटक गया है. सिर्फ टेलीग्राम से बाहर जाके अंदर आ जाइए, आ जाएगा इंशाल्लाह. ओके. सो पास्ट टेंस सबको पता है, मीन्स अल्लमा मतलब जो हो गया है, हरकत जो हो गई है. प्रेजेंट टेंस जो हो रही है या जो होने वाली है. जस्ट फॉर योर इंफॉर्मेशन, जस्ट जिसको पता नहीं है, अरेबिक में प्रेजेंट टेंस कैन रिप्रेजेंट प्रेजेंट टेंस एज वेल एज फ्यूचर. ओके. सो युअल्लिमु कैन रिप्रेजेंट प्रेजेंट एंड यू कैन ऑल्सो से फ्यूचर. सो पास्ट मतलब हो गया, प्रेजेंट मतलब हो रहा है या होगा. और तालीमन क्या है? तालीमन एक्चुअली जो भी उस रूट का मीनिंग है, उसका आइडिया है, उसका कंसेप्ट है. सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अल्लमा का रूट लेटर्स है आइन लाम मीम. आइन लाम मीम का ताल्लुक हमेशा एजुकेशन से है, पढ़ाई से है. दैट्स व्हाई अल्लमा का मीनिंग है ही टॉट. जैसे कि वो सूरा है, राइट? औज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर अर्रहमान. नेक्स्ट वर्ड क्या है? अल्लमल कुरआन. अल्लमा आ गया वहां, राइट? सो इट्स अ पास्ट टेंस. सो अल्लमा का मतलब क्या है? टू टीच. सो अल्लमा इज अ पास्ट टेंस, सो उसका ट्रांसलेशन होगा ही टॉट. ओके. सो अगर अल्लमा ही टॉट है, युअल्लिमु का मीनिंग होगा ही टीचेस और ही इज टीचिंग. अल्लमा ही टॉट, युअल्लिमु ही टीचेस. सो व्हाट इज मस्दर? हाउ विल आई अंडरस्टैंड मस्दर? मस्दर इज द कंसेप्ट ऑफ दैट रूट लेटर. सो टीचिंग का कंसेप्ट, टीचिंग का आइडिया क्या है? टीचिंग के पीछे आइडिया इज यू कैन रिप्रेजेंट आइडिया इन मल्टीपल वेज. इट्स लाइक यू कैन से टू टीच, दैट इज द आइडिया. अल्लमा युअल्लिमु पीछे जो आइडिया है टू टीच, या फिर उसको बोल सकते हैं आप एजुकेशन. हाँ, सो तालीमन का मतलब निकल सकता है एजुकेशन, टू टीच, समथिंग लाइक दिस. एनीथिंग दैट एंड्स इन ION, SION और to verb, that is the meaning of masdar. Masdar is basically the concept of that family. जो भी उस फैमिली का मीनिंग है. जैसे मैंने बोला कल्लमा मीन्स ही स्पोक. ओके, युकल्लिमु ही स्पीक्स. तकलीमन, हाउ विल यू ट्रांसलेट तकलीमन? To speak, or you can say speaking. Speaking is no verb. Speaking, the concept of speaking or to teach, that is the masdar. So in English, the masdar will generally be translated to verb or having ing or sometimes having ION, like aslama means to submit. Aslama is a different family, but anyway, aslama का जो मजदर है उसका to submit का जो मजदर है वो होगा to submit या submitting या submission. Okay, fine. So masdar का meaning समझ में आ गया. Every family is going to have a masdar. Masdar is the concept, the idea behind that act. उसको बोलेंगे masdar. Masdar is a word which does not have any tense. No tense. Past tense has a tense, present tense has a tense, masdar has no tense. That's why we translate it as to speak, to write, to keep, to go, to write, to read, to teach, something like that. Or teaching, ing, which has no time factor into it. That is the masdar. And every family will have a past tense, will have a present tense, will have a masdar, will have lot more members. So today we are focusing on these 3 members. Maybe we'll add some more. But is this 3 member clear to everyone? Past, present and masdar of the family number 2. Okay? Okay, good. Let's proceed further. Okay, so allama, as I said, it means he taught. Yuallimu, he teaches or he is teaching. And then taliman will be translated as to teach or teaching. This is very important to understand the masdar, okay? Masdar is a concept, is the idea, to teach or teaching. Fine. Now, as I told you, once you understand these first 3 members, you can easily recognize these 3 members. Doesn't matter in what form they come. I mean, what container they come in. Whether they come in as a jar, whether they come in, you will be able to recognize it. If you want to test yourself, look at this. I'm going to show you some words and I'm pretty sure you will be able to recognize it. So in the first quiz, you need to recognize who is the cousin of allama. The cousin will look like its brother, exactly like its brother. His clothes might be different, but his look will be same, which means the pattern will be same. The root letters might be different. So tell me who is the cousin of allama in all this. No. It doesn't start with allama, doesn't start with dhamma. It's not ullima. Gharraka. See, you don't be in hurry just because there is a shadda there, that is the allama. No, it is beginning with dhamma. It's not the cousin. The cousin has to match in the pattern one on one. So there is only one word that matches, gharraka. Now, look at this. We don't know the meaning of gharraka and we don't want to know, because SARF is not about meanings. SARF is about pattern. But if you come across this word gharraka, you can tell so much information about it, even though you don't know the meaning. First of all, this is a verb. Yes, that is true. How did you recognize it? Well, from the pattern. It is a past tense. Yes, that is true. Okay, this is from family number 2. Yes, that is true. Okay, this indicates XYZ, which I didn't explain you yet. What does this family represent? I mean, what is the connotation? Yes, that's also true. Well, it is male. How do you know it is male? Because the translation will be he, gharraka, like allama, he taught. So he is singular. It is male, it is singular. It is third person because he taught, he gharraka, whatever it is. Third person. So much information there in that word. So people say that I don't know the meaning of it. Nobody is expecting meaning of you. That's fine. But at least know these things. This is third person. This is male. This is singular. This is a verb. This is past tense. Isn't that so much information? by just looking at the word. That's the power of SARF. That's the power of Arabic. That you don't need to know. Now all remained is just look up the dictionary. What does gha, ra, ka represent? Well, it represents this. Okay, then it means this. This means this. This means this. This means this. All things start falling in place. So meaning is not the only thing. And in SARF, you don't need to focus on meaning. Focus on the pattern. You will go much longer and higher in the Arabic studies. Okay? Now try to recognize the pattern for yuallimu. Who is the cousin of yuallimu in this? No. Where is yudarrisu? No. Yunazzila is ending in fatha. Yuallimu. Again, you are making the mistake. Don't look just the beginning. Don't look just the ending. Don't look only middle. Everything should match. That is yudarrisu. Yudarrisu, not rasu. Yudarrisu. Again, kasra. Yudarrisu. Okay? Yudarrisu. That is the cousin. So if yudarrisu is the present tense, what's the past tense? I didn't teach you. Darrasa. Yeah. What's the masdar? What's the masdar? Tadrisan. Exactly. Look at this. Instant result. I didn't teach you what is the past tense in the masdar of yudarrisu, but you yourself told me. Darrasa yudarrisu tadrisan. Tadris. To give dars. Darsing. That's the masdar. You are able to create the masdar, which you didn't know the concept. That is how easy and beautiful and powerful Arabic SARF is. You don't need to get exposed to it to know it. You just need to know the sample. And you can see, I just gave you present tense. You are able to make the past and masdar. There are 10 to 12 members in each family. After a couple of days, you will be able to make all the 10 to 12 members if I just give you one member. Not even member, if I just give you root letters. I tell you, hey, the root letters are kaf, mim, ta. I'm just making it up. You take kaf, mim, ta, just put it in the pattern. Allama, yuallimu, ta'liman, muallimun, all those members. And you will see that you are creating words which you never practiced, never learnt. New words, but you are able to create it based on the pattern. This language is like mathematics. If you understand the pattern formula, you can create it. Now do it for masdar. Who is the cousin of masdar here? Takliman. That's it. No other word matches the pattern except takliman. That is the cousin of ta'liman. Okay? Fine. So this is what this is all about. Now remember that these are the three members of this fa'ala family or allama family. Allama, yuallimu, ta'liman. Once you understand and master these patterns, you can even read Arabic without the diacritics, without the accent, without the harkat. I can tell you. You want to test yourself? Look at this. Can somebody read this? I have not put the harkat there. Read it on the pattern of allama. Tabdilan. Tabdilan. That's it. Tabdil word उर्दू में सुना है ना? तब्दील करना. क्या मतलब? To change. That's an Arabic word. Baddala. He changed. Yubaddilu. He changes. Tabdilan. To change. Or change itself. Changing. There is no harkat there. But you were able to read it. How? Because I told you this belongs to allama family. Baddala yubaddilu tabdilan. Similarly, you can also read this. Kaddara yukaddiru takdiran. तकदीर दिन भर बोलते रहते हैं, दिन भर कंप्लेंट करते रहते हैं, मेरी तकदीर में ये है, मेरी तकदीर में. तकदीर वर्ड इज अ मजदर. और आज मुझे ही पूछ रहे थे कि मजदर का मतलब क्या है. मजदर तो यूज करते हो आप. तकदीर. कद्दरा युकद्दिरु तकदीरन. सिमिलरली कफ़रा युकफ़िरु तकफीरन. तकफीर प्रोनाउंस करते रहते हैं एक दूसरे को. वो काफिर है, ये काफिर है. व्हाट इज दैट? टू से समथिंग समबडी इज अ काफिर, दैट्स अ तकफीर. to declare that ungratefulness. Takfir, kaffara, yukaffiru, takfiran. Surah padhte hain, sabbaha, yusabbihu lillahi ma fis samawati wa. Yeah, that is the present tense of sabbaha. That's the family number 2 you are reading when you are reading that surah. Yusabbihu lillahi ma fis samawati, that's the present tense. उसका मजदर क्या है? उसका मजदर है तस्बीह, जो आप नमाज के बाद करते हो, रमजान में करते हो, साल में एक बार जो हम करते हैं तस्बीह मीन्स व्हाट? टू डू सब्बाहा, टू ग्लोरीफाई. सब्बाहा युसब्बिहु तस्बीहन. अब जितने भी मजदर के वर्ड देख रहे हो हम उर्दू में यूज करते हैं, बट हमको पता ही नहीं ये मजदर है, ये मजदर है ऑफ दिस पास्ट टेंस, ऑफ दिस प्रेजेंट टेंस. हमको पता ही नहीं कि सब्बाहा और तस्बीह रिलेटेड हैं. कैसे? ये पास्ट टेंस है, ये उसका मजदर है. युसब्बिहु इज अ प्रेजेंट टेंस. नज़्ज़ला युनज़्ज़िलु तंजीलन. शौक से नाम रखते हैं तंजीला. तंजीला का मीनिंग ही नहीं पता, राइट? रेवलेशन. नज़्ज़ला युनज़्ज़िलु तंजीलन. सद्दका युसद्दिकु तस्दीकन. तस्दीक करना, टू कंफर्म. तस्दीक. All familiar words we have been using. The only difference is we didn't have knowledge about it. We didn't know it, that these are all related words. Okay? So this is how it is. Even if the harkats are not given, you will be able to read and pronounce and understand it once you understand the sarf of it. Okay? Now, remember that even though we are saying allama yuallimu taliman, these are the representative of their own table. Allama is a past tense, right? Now past tense does not have one word, right? Allama yuallimu taliman, these are the words that are representing their own table. So allama, when we say it's a past tense has got its own table, right? I mean, even though we are saying allama, you need to realize allama के पीछे और 13 words हैं. Every table has got a 14 member table. So allama is just representing that table in the short form. So allama का अगर table करेंगे, it will be just like nasara that we studied. Allama, allama, allamu, right? He taught, both of them taught, they taught. Allamat, allamata, allamna, she taught, both the girls taught, all the women taught. Allamna, allamta, allamtuma, allamtum, allamti, allamtuma, allamtunna, allamtu, allamna. So what I'm trying to tell you is, even though we are studying only the first members, you keep in mind that this one member represents the other 13. It represents the whole table. Same thing with the present tense. Yuallimu is just the representative. Yuallimu ke baad yuallimani. He teaches. Both of them teach. All of them teach. Yuallimuna. Tuallimu, she teaches. Tuallimani, both the girl teach. Yuallimna, all the women teach. Again, tuallimu, tuallimani, tuallimuna, tuallimina. You girl teach. Tuallimani, tuallimna, uallimu, nuallimu. I teach, we teach. So all these members, when we are studying, we are only studying their first members, because rest is assumed. I know what this means. I just need to know who is the first member, because once you know one member, you can create the remaining 13 members. Same thing with masdar also, but there is one catch in masdar. In masdar, there is one catch. What is that? You see, masdar is not an verb. So we know that in the fundamental course we studied that verb का जो table होता है, verb के table में 14 members होते हैं, as you can see on the screen. इसम के टेबल में कितने मेंबर्स होते हैं? इसम के टेबल में 9, not 6, 9. First column is singular, second is dual, third is plural. First row is rafa, next row is nasb, last row is jar. So 9 members are there. So masdar is not a verb, it's an ism. As you can see, ta'liman, right? Takliman. There is a tanween at the end. The tanween tells you this is an ism. So remember, when we are creating the members of the sarf, we are creating both. We are creating verbs, fi'l, we are creating isms. So you need to know what is what. Okay, by now it should be very clear when you look at the word, is it a verb or a ism? Okay, taliman, masdar is always an ism. But when you make the table of the masdar, there is a small catch. It doesn't make the table just like the Muslimun table. In the Muslimun table, the table was Muslimun, Musliman, Muslimin, Muslimani, Muslimaini, Muslimaini, Muslimuna, Muslimina, Muslimina. When you make the masdar table, it will follow the same table like a Muslimun, but only for the first two columns. Only for the first two columns. For example, if you take taliman, the first word will be talimun, like Muslimun, then taliman, then talimin. What will be the next word? Exactly. Talimani, talimaini, talimaini. Yeah. Now, the next words will not be talimuna, talimina. No, because una, ina are reserved for human beings. Okay? So they cannot be used here. This is not a human. So what happens is, in this last column, we use the female last column. In the female table, what was the last column? Muslimatun. Exactly. So what will be the three words here? देखा उर्दू में यूज करते हैं तालीमात सही होनी चाहिए, तालीमात नहीं हुई, तालीम. व्हाट इज द तालीमात? दैट्स अ मस्दर इन प्लूरल. दैट्स अ मस्दर इन प्लूरल. तालीमात, हमारे जो तालीमात हैं वो सही नहीं है. सो इट्स अ आइडिया, it's the concept. So this is how you will make the table of the masdar. For the past tense table, just like nasara. For the present tense table, just like yansuru. And masdar will be like muslimun for the first two columns, and the last column will be muslimatun based. Talimatun, talimatin, talimat. That's only one catch. Is that clear to everyone? Okay, fine. Now, going further, let's see if we can. Our usual concept in our classes, when we conduct our classes, is that whatever we study, we immediately apply it on the Qur'an. Because in our Arabic classes, you immediately apply on the Qur'an, the student feels like, yeah, I'm directly relating it to Qur'an. So same thing here, we studied Allama yuallimu taliman. Let's see if the Quranic ayahs, the ayahs or the parts of the Qur'an they come before us. Are we able to recognize the members that are highlighted? Do they belong to Allama yuallimu talimun or not? Okay, so here is the first part from the Quran, and the word highlighted in red, you are supposed to tell whether they belong to Allama yuallimu taliman or not. Here's the first one. Yes or no? The word kazzaba. Yeah. Kazzabas. Yeah, exactly. Kazzaba. You see, you yourself are doing it. You are so tempted to do it. Even though I am not asking you, hey, do the past, present, masdar, but you are like tempted. I know it. Kazzaba, yukazzibu, takziban. Takzib karna. Jhuta, jhutapan. To lie, lying. That is takzib. Kazzaba, he lied. He denied, sorry. Actually, kazzaba is he denied. Kazzaba is he lied. Kazzaba, he denied. Yukazzibu, he denies. Takziban, to deny. To basically lie. So, before I forget, let me just tell you, even though I don't want to tell it, because this is the basics class, but I'll just tell you a small part of it, not complete thing. Every family has got specific connotation, apart from what I just explained you, from the pattern, outside pattern, there is an inside effect also. So, what happens when what is the advantage of me using this family? Somebody could ask this question. Why should I use Allama family? I can take Ain Lam Mim and use in some other family or small family. Yeah, you can do that. So when do I use? Basically the question is, when do I use? If I am the author, I am writing, when should I put the root letters in Allama family? That would be a practical question. Yes. Allama family basically, now don't hold on to this 100% most of the time. And this is advanced. If you don't understand, leave it. I'm just giving it this, I can't stop myself. Because that shows the real beauty of the Arabic language, the beauty and the power of the SARF. When you come across a Allama family word, any word, whether it is Allama, whether it is Kazzaba, whether it is Kallama, any word, when it is Allama family, it denotes two things most of the time. Sometimes it may not be true. It might be only normal usage. Okay. So nothing is 100%. There is always an exception. But most of the time, when you come across Allama family, when you are reading it, let's say Ar-Rahman, Allama al-Qur'an. Now the person who doesn't know the meaning They have just memorized it. A person who goes little bit beyond, they will say, Allama means to teach. So he taught. That's it. That's the second level. He taught Qur'an. But the person who has mastered the SARF, who has understood the SARF, he or she does not visualize the ayah Allamal Qur'an as he taught the Qur'an. That is very superficial. He or she will immediately realize, this is Bab Fa'ala. Bab Fa'ala means emphasis. Like the teacher does on the desk. When he or she is explaining something very important, they bang it on the desk. Or the judge, when he hits that hammer on its wooden plank, whatever it is there. What is that? That's catching the attention. That's what happens when you use Allama family. One of the things that happens. It's emphasis. It's like if Arabic was using the tools like English, Allama would be bold or underlined. Why? Because that's the meaning of Allama family. The second thing that it creates is repetition. How do you know it is repetition? Look at the Shadda in the middle. Shadda means what? Shadda means what? Actually, there are two lams there. Ain, lam, lam, mim. That's what it makes it Allama. Two lams are fused together. What is the two lam representing? It's representing repetition. Repetition of lam. So whatever is the action, it doesn't happen once. It keeps on happening. So right now, even though I don't claim I'm teaching, I always claim I'm sharing. But just to understand, I'm teaching you SARF. Now, am I teaching you only once? Is the teaching happens if the teacher teaches in the class, she does it only once? No, the teaching process is repetition. She needs to keep teaching. He or she, somebody teaches, they need to keep on teaching. It doesn't happen once. It's a repetitive process. So when you see Allama, it's a repetition. It's an emphasis. And there are some more things which you will study when the right time comes. But at this moment, these two things are important for you. When you study Allama, it's a repetition, it's emphasis, it's bold, it's highlighting. So when you see Kazzaba, Kazzaba is not Kaziba. There is a normal family of this, which is not Allama family, Kaziba. There is no Shadda there. Kaziba. Kaziba means to lie, jhoot bolna. Okay, that's normal. Normal in the sense, normal meaning. Lying is not normal. Of course, lying become normal nowadays. But Kaziba is lie, to lie. But Kazzaba, this is not Kaziba. It's using the same root letters. But now it has transformed itself into family number 2. So the author is not trying to say you, he lied. No, he keeps on lying. When you keep on lying, which means you are denying. So Kazzaba ka matlab not lie. Kazzaba ka matlab to deny. Why? Because this is family number 2. And denying with the emphasis. He is denying. That's emphasize. After all this, he denies. So these are all the meanings that come out when you understand SARF. Otherwise, it's a normal reading without meaning or a normal superficial meaning. He lied, he denied. There is no emotion inside it. You don't appreciate it the way it should be appreciated. These are the words of our creator, not a human being. That we are not reading a novel or a magazine that we can just swipe through and finish it off. No. That's why I don't like, this is my personal preference, I don't like those things like summary of Surah Baqarah, summary of Para 1, summary. You can't do summary. Each and every word is so deep. How can you do a summary of whole surah? Not possible. It's not. It's injustice to these words. You should study each and every word is so deep. Just the word Al-Lazi, it has so much emphasis on it. When you study, you will realize it. So we can only know what we are missing when we study it. The more you study, the more you realize how ignorant we are. Okay. Anyway, that's enough to explain the family Allama. Allazi Kazzaba is Allama family. So that is correct. Okay. What about this? Does this belong to our family? Allama yuallimu ta'liman anzala. No, it doesn't. Why? I don't see any shadda there. I don't see oo-e sound. I don't see ta'liman. No, none of them matching. So, you see, whatever we are studying in the last lecture, this lecture, have we emphasized the meaning there? No. We don't need the meaning for grammar or for SARF. It's all about understanding without knowing the meaning. Anzala, don't know the meaning, but I can tell you this is not Allama family. That's right, it's not an Allama. What about this one? Kallamal Musa, this is the word, Kallamallahu Musa, Takliman. Yes, that's the Masdar, Allama family. Okay, now this is challenging. Yuharrifun al kalima an mawadihi. Yes or no? This needs little bit of workout. It is? Yes. Because you see, yuharrifuna, yeah, exactly. Yuharrifuna is a plural word. Yuallimu is singular. But if I make yuallimu plural, it will also become yuallimuna. When you saw the table, when I made the whole table, there was yuallimu, yuallimani, yuallimuna, which means yuallimuna is the member. Even though we are looking at only the representative, we have to match with all the members. So yuharrifuna, if I make a singular, it will be yuharrifu. That is yuallimu. So you have to go to that length also. So yes, this is a member of that family. Yuharrifu. What about this? Ja'ilun. Inni ja'ilun fil ardi khalifa. Ja'ilun. No. It doesn't match with any of the word. Allama yuallimu taliban. It is not the member. What about this? Zayyana. Yes, Allama, Zayyana. Zayyana means to beautify. Zinat का word इसी से आता है. Zinat मतलब beauty, right? Zayyana, to beautify. wa zayyana lahum ash-shaytanu. Shaitan beautifies it for them. Shaitan beautifies it. It is emphasizing. And it doesn't beautify once, it keeps on beautifying it. When you do something wrong, see, how do you understand? Zayyana, when you look at the translation, it will say, it beautifies it for them. Shaitan beautifies it for them. No, Shaitan keeps beautifying for them. आप गलत काम करो, कुछ बुराई का काम करो, कुछ जो चीज नॉट अलाउड है करो, मजा आता है उसमें. ये शैतान आपको और उसका नेक्स्ट लेवल देता है, और उसका फिर नेक्स्ट लेवल. That's what happens. The person gets involved into it. And one of the best example of that in today's world is the Epstein files. You might be reading in the news. This is the example of this. Zayyana lahumu shaitanu. This is the example of that thing going on in the news from last so many days. Right? And it's still just the tip of the iceberg. This is what happened with that fellow. What did he do to all the big people? Zayyana lahumu shaitanu. Shaitan beautified it for him and he did it for the others. And they went on crossing all the boundaries. Although they could have done that wrong work without anybody knowing it, but they extended it. They went beyond it. They were not satisfied with what they were doing. Already the bad thing. They made it worse. So that is Zayyana lahumu shaitanu. Okay? It is this part of this family. Is that clear? Have any questions on this? No, yes, maybe. Come on, please. No. Okay, good. Yes. Huh? किसका? हाँ, तज़यीनन. हाँ, बोलो. Yes, तज़यीनन. That's right. Put the ta in the beginning. First root letter sukun, second root letter kasra, and then the ya and the third root letter. That's it. Tazyinan. Okay. Okay. So the one who teaches, please help me. My English is very weak. What is this? Allama family? Yeah, this is the Allama. The animation is out of order. Okay, so Allama yuallimu ta'liman. Fine. Help me. The one who teaches. What do you call in English? Teacher. Exactly. What did you do? You take the word teach. You add the er. Similarly, the one who speaks. Yeah, you just added er to the verb. Oh, पिछले में वर्ब था टीच, आपने er ऐड किया. अभी वर्ब है स्पीक, आपने er ऐड किया. राइट? सिमिलरली अभी वर्ड है ड्राइव, आप er ऐड करोगे तो ड्राइवर हो जाएगा. अभी वर्ब है मैनेज, आप er ऐड करोगे मैनेजर. सी दैट? सो इंग्लिश में भी कुछ हद तक पैटर्न है. जैसे मैंने बताया, er ऐड करोगे तो आपको मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम, नॉट ऑलवेज, मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम आपको डूअर मिलेगा उस एक्शन का. टीचर, स्पीकर, ड्राइवर, मैनेजर, लायर, ऑल दिस er डूअर मिलेगा. यहां पर भी अरबिक में सेम फीचर है, बट मोर पावरफुल, मोर कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव. यहां जैसे मैंने बोला er का मतलब डूअर होता है, बट मैं एक एग्जांपल दूंगा जहां पे er डूअर नहीं है. फिंगर, If I say finger, it has ER at the end. But does it mean the person who fings? No. No, it doesn't. So it failed. At this stage, this concept failed that every time you have ER, it's a doer. No. But in Arabic, especially in the big family, it will not fail. Or it will hardly fail. 99.99% ER अगर Arabic में हम देखेंगे तो always वही true होगा. So for example, if you take the present tense, yuallimu, okay? Take this, yuallimu. Here, the root letters are ain, lam, mim. And ya in the beginning, you, right? You in the beginning is part of the pattern. ये root का pattern नहीं है. तो जब भी जो हिस्सा pattern का part है, that word which is part of pattern, it will always come no matter what root letters are there, right? So this is pattern and ain, lam, mim is the root. Now, in Arabic also, when you take the present tense, now we are talking about big families, okay? So keep in mind in the background. For the big families, when you take the present tense and you replace the beginning you or beginning ya, जो भी है, कभी या आएगा, कभी you आएगा, जो भी आएगा, या आएगा, you आएगा. If you replace this with a mu, I repeat, in the big families, when you take the present tense and replace the beginning you or ya, whatever it is, with mu, you will get the doer of that action. Whatever action you are talking about. अभी allama का जो action है, इसका मतलब है to teach. He taught. Yuallimu, he teaches. Taliman to teach. Okay? So जो भी ये हरकत करेगा teaching की, उसको क्या बोलते हैं अरबिक में? मुझे आपको बताने की जरूरत नहीं है. What you have to do is take the present tense, replace the ya with the mu, and you get the doer. So mu is going to act like a er, but more powerful, more comprehension. So what do you get? मुअल्लिमुन. So हमने सिर्फ तनवीन ऐड की because this is the ism now. इसम को तनवीन आती है. युअल्लिमु वाज अ वर्ब, तो उसमें तनवीन नहीं आएगी, सिर्फ मुंह बोला हमने, इसलिए इसको तनवीन लगाया. मुअल्लिमुन. अब मुझे आपको बताने की जरूरत नहीं है मुअल्लिमुन का मतलब क्या है. मुअल्लिमुन मीन्स द वन हु डज अल्लमा युअल्लिमु. द वन हु डज अल्लमा युअल्लिमु विल बी कॉल्ड एज मुअल्लिमुन. मुअल्लिमुन किसको बोलते हैं? मुअल्लिम किसको बोलते हैं? टीचर को. द वन हु गिव्स इल्म मुअल्लिमुन, दैट्स अ टीचर. टीचर. सो डूअर को ग्रामर लैंग्वेज में, सर्फ लैंग्वेज में बोलते हैं इसम फाइल. यू हैव टू मेमोराइज दिस टर्म. इसम फाइल. फाइल. इसम का मतलब नाउन, फाइल का मतलब डूअर. द डूअर नाउन. द डूअर नाउन. सो इसम फाइल का ट्रांसलेशन होगा द डूअर ऑफ दिस एक्शन. कौन सा एक्शन? अल्लामा युअल्लिमु. अल्लामा युअल्लिमु जो करेगा उसको बोलेंगे मुअल्लिमुन. जैसे हम दूसरा लेते हैं कल्लमा. कल्लमा मीन्स टू स्पीक. कल्लमा युकल्लिमु का डूअर होगा मुकल्लिमुन. मुकल्लिम. मुकल्लिम किसको बोलते हैं? जो बात करता है, जो स्पीक करता है. कल्लमा करता है, कलाम करता है. मुकल्लिमुन. दैट्स इट. जो डिनाई करता है उसको क्या बोलेंगे? कज़्ज़बा युकज़्ज़िबु. मुकज़्ज़िबुन. यू सी दैट? इजी फॉर्मूला. आपको पता, इसीलिए बोला मैंने, एक फैमिली मेंबर पता होगा, आप सारे जनरेट कर सकते हो. आपको सिर्फ फॉर्मूला पता चाहिए. इसका फॉर्मूला, इसम फाइल पता करने का फॉर्मूला क्या है? टेक द प्रेजेंट टेंस, रिप्लेस द या और यू विद मू, बिकॉज मू रिप्रेजेंट डूअर, और बन गया मुअल्लिमुन. दैट्स अ डूअर ऑफ द एक्शन. दैट्स हाउ इजी इट इज. सो वी गॉट द फोर्थ मेंबर ऑफ द फैमिली. पहले हमने 3 मेंबर पढ़े, पास्ट टेंस, प्रेजेंट टेंस, मस्दर. Now you added one more member to the family. It is called as ism fa'il. So allama, okay, first member past tense, second member yuallimu, present tense, third member taliman, masdar, idea. Fourth member is, we say fahuwa muallimun. So it is muallimun. Fahuwa is added just for the rhythm, because our students memorize like allama yuallimu taliman fahuwa muallimun, kallama yukallimu takliman fahuwa mukallimun, kazzaba yukazzibu takziban fahuwa mukazzibun. So it's fahuwa means so it is. Fa means so, huwa means it. So it is. So it's a rhythm kind of a thing, and there is a reason for it, which we will discuss in. If you go that far, we will discuss it. But at this moment, even if you don't say fahuwa, it's fine. But get used to it. It's a nice rhythm. So allama का ट्रांसलेशन होगा he taught, युअल्लिमु होगा he teaches और he is teaching, तालीमन to teach और teaching, मुअल्लिमुन
Give me the translation. Muallim.
Teacher.
Teacher. आ गया आपका ER? ER आ गया आपका. So प्रेजेंट टेंस में मुंह लगाने से ER का इफेक्ट आता है. मुअल्लिम. ER का इफेक्ट. कोई भी वर्ड ले लो आप अभी. कज़्ज़बा युकज़्ज़िबु तकज़ीबन फहुवा मुकज़्ज़िब. नज़्ज़ला to send down. नज़्ज़ला युनज़्ज़िलु
तंज़ीलन फहुवा
मुनज़्ज़िलुन. So Quran के ताल्लुक से Allah is munazzilun. Why? He is the one who is sending down. He is the one who is doing nazil. Munazzilun. Easily पता चलता है, right? So now you got the fourth member added in the list. So you're going to add all these members one by one. So this is how the table goes. जो पहले 4 मेंबर है, अल्लामा युअल्लिमु तालीमन फहुवा मुअल्लिमुन. Now any root letters, any one member I give, you should be able to do it. Look at this. Baddala. Complete it. Anyone?
Yubaddilu tabdilan. Mubaddilu.
Fahuwa mubaddilun. The one who changes. Baddala means to change. Keep on changing. Keep on. Why am I saying keep on changing? Because that is the Allama family. Not change once. Keep on changing. Baddala. Badala. That is change once. Baddala. It's emphasis and repetition. Qaddara yukaddiru taqdiran fahuwa mukaddirun. 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 Mukaddar, that is coming down the line. That's another member of the family. Mukaddar matlab जिसके ऊपर action होता है, वो है. We'll see that. But this is mukaddir, the one who does qaddara. Mukaddir. कोई बशारत देता है. बशरा. मुबारकबाद देना. बशिरू तबशीरन. और मुबारकबाद देना उसको बोलते हैं मुबशिरुन. तो जिसका नाम मुबशिर है उसको भी पता नहीं होगा कि आई एम द इसम फाइल. उसको भी नहीं पता है आई एम इसम फाइल. मुबशिरुन, the one who gives basharat. But maybe sometimes he gives bad news also, but he is mubashir anyway. Saddaka yusaddiku tasdiqan fahuwa musaddiqun. मुसद्दिक किसी का नाम है, मतलब ही इज द वन हु डज सद्दका, हु कंफर्म्स. ये सच है, हाँ सच है. दैट्स अ मुसद्दिक. मुसद्दिकुन. सब्बहा युसब्बिहु तस्बीहन फहुवा मुसब्बिहुन. Next time you see someone doing tasbih, tell yourself, this is the guy who is musabbih. That's how you will apply it in the practical world. Musabbih means the one who does tasbih, the one who glorifies. Kaffara yukaffiru takfiran fahuwa mukaffirun. Mukaffirun. The one who does rejection. Kaffara. Okay? Create a table for ism file for Allama family. Okay, so we did the table for past tense, present tense, masdar. Okay, this is how the table for ism file now. Now, ism file is just like Muslimun. Ism file is a human being. So, it will be, the table will be just like Muslimun table. So, the first word for this family will be Muallimun. Muallimin. Yeah, Muallimani. 2 teachers, Muallimani. Or more than 2 teachers, Muallimuna. Muallimina. That's it. Now, in this case, the doer does not have to be male always. There are females also, right? So the doer could be female. Actually, contrary to the reality is that most of the teachers are female. So, Muallimun is a male. What about the female teacher? How will you say? Just add a tamarbuta. Just like Muslimun became Muslimatun. Muallimun will become Muallimatun, Muallimatan, Muallimatin, Muallimatani, Muallimataini, Muallimataini, and then Muallimatun, Muallimat, teachers, Muallimatun, Muallimatin. Okay? Tell me now. Any questions? So, from 0, we added 4 members today. First, we studied the past tense, Allama. Then we studied the present tense, Yuallim. Then we studied the masdar, the concept, the idea, ta'liman. And then finally, we studied how to create a doer of that family for that word. So now, after today, any past tense or present tense or masdar is given to you, you should be able to create all these 4 members, especially the ism file. So in Qur'an, when you are reading, you come across a word on this pattern, you should know Allah is talking about the doer of this action. muqaddirun, muallimun, mubashirun, musaddiqun, munazzilun. These are all the doer format. The Arabic word for doer is ism fa'il. Ism, noun, fa'il, doer. Okay? That's all I had for today's session, inshallah. So tomorrow we will add some more members. Maybe we will add all the members of this family. So tomorrow, inshallah, we will complete the Allama family. And then you will have the complete list in front of you. And you will really feel powered when you see that you are able to create all those 8 to 10 members of the family without knowing anything about them. Just starting with the root letters and putting in the pattern, you will see the words getting created automatically, inshallah. Any questions? Okay, no. I'll take that silent as no questions. So, Jazakallah khair for attending. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. See you tomorrow, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.